Okay, welcome everyone for episode 7 of Wargamers. I'm here with Johan Nagel. How are you, Johan?
I'm very good, thank you.
First question I got is, what do you do at Every Single Soldier? What's your position in the company, and what do you do?
Okay, so every single soldier is really it's a company that I've formed that I'm the sole member of. I have one or two partners from my banking days that I keep as a technical reference. So how it works is I design, finance, and produce the games, and then I outsource them to studios locally or internationally, and then I just direct them on a weekly basis.
We got Afghanistan, we got Vietnam. Those are two major things.
Yep.
What other conflicts do you see this particular engine model being used for?
So the path right now is we're busy working on the British Army DLC for Afghanistan. So that should be coming out sometime September-ish around. We're actually quite far down the line. The artwork's been done. We're just doing some programmatical changes. And it's not just going to be a British reskin. It's going to have some new features like the Afghan police are going to be involved. And, so we're going to bring some new stuff in. Yeah, so we're bringing some nice depth in. And after the UK Army DLC, we're going to be doing the USMC DLC. So we're going to bring in the Marine Corps. The next iteration or the next sort of step in the journey is I want to do Angola 86. I want to do my own war, in that model, because I'm dying to do that. That's really where I want to end up. And after that, we're going to do the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. So that's the path. So that's the path for, say, the next maybe 18 months. That's kind of where we're at. And then ultimately, John, we're going to come back to Vietnam. Absolutely. We're coming back at Vietnam 66. And it's going to be all the learnings wrapped up into the ultimate coin warfare sim for Vietnam. I mean, just very briefly, I've recently completed the design doc for the Afghanistan invasion. The primary differences from A11 would be, instead of trying to build your hearts and minds to 100, you're going to try and keep the hearts and minds above 0. If you know that makes any sense, because they didn't exactly have a hearts and minds strategy. They didn't have a nation building philosophy. They had a brute force strength, let's suppress everything and try and control it mentality.
Wow. And do you feel like these games, since you already have the foundation, they're going to be much quicker rollout than 9 months?
Well, definitely. I mean, the UK and the UK and the USMC DLCs are going to be much quicker. We're working on about 3 months apiece. So what I'm doing is, first of all, I mean, clearly we're going to change all the vehicles and the uniforms, and all that's going to change. So visually, you're going to get a really rich change. But mechanic-wise, we're going to be having different types of vehicles and different types of attributes to vehicles. For example, we're going to be bringing in the Jackal, which is a British light sort of recon vehicle. And now that'll be able to only carry special forces in the vehicle. And if it goes into a village, it'll get intel without disembarking. So there's going to be like these kind of slight nuanced changes. So the player then has to kind of figure out, it's going to be a different strategy. I'm taking the emphasis away from the American, which is brute power, to the British sort of mentality of clever use of limited resources. It's that kind of subtle change that we're making. The USMC, we're just going to bring those Marines in, and we're just going to dump them into, bring in the Stallion helicopters. I can see the visuals now. I mean, the Stallion helicopters coming in, the Cobra gunships coming in. And then I haven't really thought about the unit changes as yet, but it's going to be more towards grunt power. That's kind of where it's going to go. I'm going to give more power to the infantry unit than it's currently displayed in A11. So it's going to be even more ground orientated. So and there'll be integrated units, like snipers will be inside the units. And, we're thinking of sort of infantry upgrades, because the Marines are pretty good with that sort of integration. Yeah. So we're going to have that sort of mentality where you're going to have, at certain ranks, the infantry will be able to unlock certain other sort of upgrade powers, like EOD or dog handling or interpreters or snipers. So we're kind of bringing it back to an infantry model, which is really like the Marine model, in my view, obviously with great support.
How much is the DLC going to cost?
So we're kind of thinking around about the $9 mark DLC. I forgot to mention we're doing a third one after the USMC. We're going to be doing the ISAF, where the player will then be able to mix and match units from all different nations and then fight A11.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
In Slytherin, and you are in the process of moving Afghanistan to tablet.
So with the UK DLC, also it'll be on tablet. So we are synchronizing the UK DLC launch with the launch onto iPad. The iPad 2 is now off the radar. We try to go to iPad 3 if we can, but that's where that's the low water mark. You know, we're kind of moving towards the iPad 4 and up. Otherwise, we just can't really do a proper port. You know, we have to give away too much for memory. Or literally, I'm actually, I think in my design folder I've got about 7 games at the moment that I'm fiddling with, and they're very diverse, from an 18th century Royal Navy frigate to the parajumpers, you know, the Pedro rescue crew in the American Army.
The next couple of games that you have in the pipeline, are they going to follow the same kind of engine as Afghanistan, or we're looking at completely something different?
Totally different. I mean, ultimately, I want to push out about 3 games a year is kind of what I'm working at. All I can guarantee is they're not going to look or even smell like Afghanistan or Carrier Deck. They're completely different games.